Hi, and welcome back to Parenting on Pause, epic section of our website where we offer parents that elusive 5 minutes to themselves and offer tips and tricks on how to best navigate the pandemic. I'm here with epic program coordinator and licensed social worker, Adrienne. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Liz.
And what we're going to talk about today is the topic of isolation, which at this point in the pandemic is really hitting a lot of people differently. So first, what would you say to someone who is experiencing maybe an increased sense of isolation during this time?
So, what I would say is to make sure that you are reaching out to supportive people. So, people who support you, whether it's a childhood friend, a mom, a aunt, favorite cousin, whoever that person is, reach out to them daily and for at least 20 minutes, whether it's a text or whether it's a phone call. They will find that that will help with them being connected. So, people can't really, gather in large crowds. And depending on, what kind of job you have, how you may have friends or family who are exposed to the virus, so you want to not expose yourself, but connecting with people via phone, FaceTime, there's Duo. There are so many ways to connect, even, through Zoom. I would recommend that they do that every single day for at least 15 minutes, just so you get that connectedness. And it's not the same as being with that person, but it's better than that feeling of like isolation and loneliness. So I would strongly encourage people to reach out to whomever, and it doesn't have to be one person a day. It can be whoever they want to call, 3 people, 5, whatever, as long as they'll support you and answer the phone. So definitely reach out.
And in addition to maintaining that contact with people, are there other things that parents can do to combat the isolation during this time?
I think there are a couple of things that parents can do. They can definitely, I know parenting can be isolating, particularly if you have like small children. So I think that if there's any time that you can, I guess for lack of a better term, put the kids away, have the baby in the crib during that time, or have the kids, playing, doing their own activity, still reach out to someone, if you have a mom friend, if you have any kind of person, any adult that you can talk to, make sure that you do that. If you can't do it daily, at least once or twice a week, because it can be overwhelming, especially if you are in the house with the kids all the time and maybe you have work on top of that. It can definitely be hard to manage. So again, the same as if anyone is feeling isolated, reach out to people for support. Another way you can feel connected with all that's going on is you can set a time where you can engage with your kids, playing a game, being outside. I have a couple of friends who are actually doing bird watching, like with their kids. So, just, today is a particularly bright sunny day, bird watching. There's even an app for plants, a plant identifier, doing something like that with your kids just to feel connected to people. But outside of that, if you really need an adult to talk to, reach out to supportive friends. Definitely do that.
And is there something to be said too for maintaining some sort of routine or sense of normalcy within the pandemic, whether it's, getting dressed or maintaining these habits that might help combat the isolation?
I think so. I think when you look at like just people in general and just human development, like people tend to be ritualistic, and um, that isn't to say like to put people off or anything like that. But people have their rituals. A lot of the reason why people are having a hard time is they're used to going to the mall on Saturday, having brunch Sunday, hanging with their girlfriends, and that's a hard thing to not have. So I definitely, even if you're just rolling out of bed and you're going to be in sweats all day, still go get washed up, still take the shower, get a nice smelling soap, go take a shower, wash your face. If you don't want to do the makeup, brush your hair, brush your teeth, do all of those things. I think it will make you just feel better and make you feel more connected to yourself. So definitely still get ready in the morning.
And then what would you say to parents? I think a lot of them are surprised that maybe the stir craziness or feeling of isolation is actually worse right now than maybe at
Yeah.
the start of the pandemic. And, you know, I hear a lot of like, oh, that's not normal, or I don't understand why. So
Yeah.
what would be the reasoning behind people feeling maybe that increased sense of loneliness now?
I think it's increased because people are not, they're not with their coworkers. So even if you have a coworker like me, like I'm a pretty quiet person, people are used to hearing like the buzz like in the office. That's comforting. That's a social interaction, and humans we're wired for social interaction. Even people who, are introverted, the thing with that is introverts, they like to control who they're socializing with versus people who are more extroverted who, it's a party, whoever's around, it's a party. So even for those folks who are more introspective and a little bit quieter, they can feel more isolated because they like that buzz. Even someone, you're missing that person, on your way to work to get that bagel, that guy or that lady, you wave to, that cashier that you see every morning at Starbucks and you have just a little brief conversation. Those are all social connections, and it feels worse now because those little casual connections are not happening anymore. So that's why it feels worse now, because we're not seeing as many people.
Well, thank you so much. And everyone out there, for more information from Adrienne, as well as links to our parent support line and other resources, you can head to our website, epicforchildren.org. Thanks for joining us.